time.
You should have thought of it before. I can give them this. Just the watch. Then they can leave it as fair as I am.
You can't do that!
If they want the doctor, they can have it.
He'll never let you do it.
And if they get what they want, then...
Then it all ends in destruction. I never read to the end. Those creatures would live forever. To breed and conquer war across the stars. For every child. Martha, Timothy, would you leave us alone, please?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is where we study the 12 laws of mind that govern our lives. And today we're going to discuss fear and how to end fear and anxiety in your life forever. So this is how you get rid of that fear and get that confidence and really see how you're supposed to be looking at life. Today's video that emphasizes this is from the Family of Blood. It's from Doctor Who, BBC, the third season of Doctor Who of the reboot. And the whole story is brilliant. You should really watch it. It's 2 parts. The first part is called Human Nature, and the second part is called The Family of Blood, and it's really about what we're doing here. Okay, the whole 2 episodes are human nature, a study of human nature, and this is how humans are, and then here's how the being inside is, and then there comes a time when you have to choose. Okay, which side are you going to stay with? And it can be good on both sides. Okay, it's just which road are you going to choose? And it's different for everybody. Now, the Bible, the New Testament, tells you to invite Jesus into your life. And what that means is that you are Jesus. You're inviting God into your life. You have a direct connection to God. You know, he's inside you. Okay? You're the Jesus. So this is why the mystics of the last couple of centuries were emphasizing mental, and didn't give out the physical. But when you're really, low on that universal life force, that physical act really helps you pump it back up. And then you can go and just be silent. You don't have to be silent in that position, but this is what they're all telling you. And this is what the Psalms and everything is telling you. Old Testament, New Testament, go be silent and know I am God. That I am in your heart is God. And he goes before you in speech. He goes before you in the physical world. You can't see him. He's a vibration. He's a feeling. He's divine love. And what people call the law of attraction is really, rise up a little bit, it's the great law of attraction. You've invited love, divine love, into your heart to bind with you, okay, and bind with your mind, your body, your soul, your life. This is handing total control mentally. You're telling God in your heart that you understand, that you're the imaginative creative force and he's the thinker. And that's why a lot of the mystics tell you it's not the how. Actually, you get to imagine the how, you get to, wouldn't that be great? I would love that. I would win that in a contest maybe, or I could, who knows how I could get it. It could be a million ways. Sure enough, here comes contest just with what you want. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, I accept that. That's mine. I appreciate it because you're always inside God's storehouse of riches. You're in his mind. Okay, you are a thought or a belief in his mind. And those who have come from families that have been passing this knowledge on, are a firm belief. It's the ones that got made to play into these stories that, are the meek, and they're the salt of the earth. They're the ones coming. They're the ones rising up. They're the second son. So the fear is handed over to God, and the Bible tells you this right and left, You don't fear the outside. You fear what you've done with God's name. Now that you understand, you wouldn't wish those things on anybody, Father, take this nightmare away. I hand my fear over to you. I'm afraid. And I just spill it out myself. I'm afraid. I'm afraid this is not going to happen in time. I'm afraid this is can't happen. I'm afraid that, and that it's impossible. I know all things are possible with you, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid. And God does it. He takes that fear away. Nature abhors a vacuum. He replaces it through the great law of attraction with divine love. You've handed your heart over to him. You invite him into your heart and accept him in your heart. And start handing your fears off. Start handing them off. And it's really just, I'm afraid of dying. I'm afraid of this slow death. They're strangling me, Father. They're trying to make it so I'm not in this beautiful house that you made for me. And having these lovely neighbors that we have, and they're being awful to everybody, and I'm afraid. I know I did this with my mind. I'm afraid of what I've done with your name. And he cleans it all up, everything you're afraid of. It may come at you 3 times, because that's the pattern. We're told this over and over again. Jesus gets approached 3 times in Matthew, by the devil. Satan coming at him with the bullshit. No, I'm not listening to you. Okay. I know how this place works. And I'm going to hang on to God. And this is that final battle for all of us, that, the more people who hand their fear over to God, the stronger and stronger the people become. Okay. And they become right-minded thinking, all the people around you. And anyone who believes in God, whether it's on the outside or the inside, it doesn't matter. They believe in God. That feeling exists. And we're a whole. You can take the high road, the spiritual path, the conscious manifestation, or you can take the low road, which is the physical path, which is, the objective path. But they all end up at the same place. Eventually, they all converge. So to get rid of your fear forever, and I mean forever, and you'll have confidence, the confidence of God that God had in you, that you have a good feeling about it, is to just go sit down, be by yourself, and confess your fears to God, everything you're afraid of. Don't worry. He's been waiting for you to do it. And then accept him. Say it, I invite you, Father. I invite you into my heart, and I accept you into my heart. And I accept you into my mind, my body, and my soul. And you understand that the mind is what is creating in the body, in the physical. And your soul that has been beaten up is now all working together as one. Okay? We've already received the promise, humanity has. And there are some here who are receiving it, but most of us are the congregation throughout time and space that have been in this story. Okay? And we're here to say hallelujah. Isn't it great? We made it. Victory. Time to go home. You know, it's dinner time. Dinner time. That's those bells ringing. So you will find you will become much calmer, that you have this, love of life. You can laugh and have good conversation with your husband when you're not tippy-toeing on eggshells anymore, or trying to get in pissed you're still forgiving this shit. Because it's a deep-seated fear. It's one from who knows where. Okay, but this is how it's manifested. So you just dump your fears onto the Father. Okay? And this is known in many ways. Cast the burden on the Christ. And some people can easily just, I cast this burden onto the Christ. But comprehension is required for these things to work. Now, they work automatically, but in order for you to consciously do it and consciously see it happening and being rewarded with it, is you walking with God. So you accept that God's doing it all. He does the thinking. Okay? You get to imagine being in it, driving in it, isn't that great? And you stay there. He gave you that possession. He gave you that to possess. But you don't possess people.
He never raised his voice. That was the worst thing. The fury of the Time Lord. And then we discovered why. Why this doctor, who had fought with gods and demons, why he'd run away from us and hidden. He was being kind.
It is. You hand your fears over. I've handed more fears over since then, and it's been great. I can be calm, serene, cool, during the day, and not respond, and not worry about what's going into my head, and just, things come up from TV and stuff. It's just, well, God meant it for good. I know that. Oh, well, bless their heart. Somebody has to play the role, and that kind of thing. So I hope this helps. Blessings to you. And thank you. Thank you for being you.
He wrapped my father in unbreakable chains, forged in the heart of a dwarf star. He tricked my mother into the event horizon of a collapsing galaxy, to be imprisoned there forever. He still visits my sister, once a year, every year. I wonder if one day he might forgive her, but there she is, can you see? He trapped her inside a mirror. Every mirror. If ever you look at your reflection and see something move behind you just for a second, that's her. That's always her. As for me, I was suspended in time, and the doctor put me to work standing over the fields of England as their protector. We wanted to live forever, so the doctor made sure that we did.
Girl, I want to be with you all of the time, all day and all of the night. All day and all of the night. All day and all of the night. I believe that you and me last forever. Oh yeah. All day and night I'm yours, leave me never.